All better sit down, buckle up, and put your phones on silent. Because what just popped off outside that courtroom wasn't a love and hip-hop moment. It was a full-blown public demolition of reputations, loyalty, and sanity. Lil Scrappy didn't just walk out with a frown, he walked out swinging. And who was in the line of fire? None other than Stevie J, the so-called cool uncle of chaos himself. But let's not act surprised. When you mix betrayal, courtroom, secrets, and a baby mama with chessboard energy, this ain't gonna end with a handshake, it ends with fists, files, and a whole lot of fake smiles gone real sour. But hold up, why was Scrappy ready to risk it all on the courthouse steps? What did Bambi say or do that made this man jump out of character and straight into the headlines? And why is Stevie J acting like he didn't see it coming when the whole timeline been calling this setup from day one? If you think this is just another celebrity meltdown, think again. Because what we uncovered behind those sealed documents and private DMs? Chilly. It's giving sabotage, it's giving manipulation, and it's giving reality TV gone nuclear. Stay tuned, because we about to break it all down. Just when you thought reality TV couldn't get any messier, real life decided to outdo itself. Outside the Fulton County Courthouse, chaos unfolded in a way no one could have predicted. Except maybe the viewers who've been watching this ticking time bomb for years. Lil Scrappy, the man who's been through it all, fame, fatherhood, heartbreak, public humiliation, finally snapped. And he didn't snap behind closed doors. No, he snapped in broad daylight, in front of reporters, security cameras, and an audience that had been salivating for drama. What triggered the outburst? That would be the smug, unbothered face of Stevie J, strolling out of the courthouse as if he hadn't just played the villain in someone's real-life trauma. And let's not forget the queen pin of it all, Bambi, walking out with her legal team. Like she just won an Oscar for Best Actress in a role of betrayal. The scene was pure chaos. Scrappy lunged, fists flying, security scrambling, onlookers screaming, and Stevie J caught off guard, like he didn't see it coming, even though the writing had been on the wall for months. But let's rewind, because what led up to this explosion wasn't just courtroom tension. It was years of silent manipulation, secret meetings, and a scandal that could burn the entire franchise to the ground. According to whispers in the hallway, the courtroom session had just revealed something so wild, so calculated, that it shattered every ounce of trust Scrappy had left. Leaked documents presented during the custody battle exposed that Bambi had allegedly been feeding Stevie J private information about Scrappy's finances, parenting habits, and even mental health struggles. Yes, while Scrappy thought he was fighting for his daughter and his dignity, Bambi was allegedly staging a character assassination campaign with Stevie J as her strategic consultant. These weren't just accusations, they came with receipts, transcripts, screenshots, meeting logs, even a few grainy photos that looked a little too cozy to be about legal strategy. And the most jaw-dropping part, a mic left on after the hearing accidentally recorded Bambi giggling and saying he took the bait. That one line alone sent social media into an inferno. People started digging, pulling clips from old love, and hip-hop episodes freeze-framing every side eye. Every whisper between Bambi and Stevie J, a timeline emerged showing a suspicious pattern every time the two were seen together. Scrappy's public image took a hit. Was it coincidence? Or was Scrappy being set up from the beginning? Suddenly, fans were turning into digital detectives, matching outfits to court dates, tracking flight logs, even analyzing body language. And all signs pointed to one conclusion: this wasn't just messy, it was manufactured. Sources close to production started leaking that the entire scandal might have been pitched as a storyline for the show's reboot, with Stevie J allegedly promising drama that would blow the roof off. Bambi, seeing an opportunity for both revenge and relevance, allegedly signed on with one condition: she wanted editing control. Meanwhile, Scrappy remained completely in the dark, believing he was fighting for his child, not realizing he was. also starring in a reality TV plot from hell. But this wasn't just a betrayal. It was psychological warfare. One anonymous insider described the situation like this: "It's like putting a man on trial, then handing his enemies the script." While Stevie J allegedly played the cool puppet master, charming everyone in the courtroom and smirking like a man with immunity, Scrappy was left confused, triggered, and emotional. He didn't just feel betrayed, he felt hunted. And when Stevie J came strolling out of the courthouse behind Bambi, looking like he'd just scored the winning touchdown, that's when Scrappy snapped. Witnesses say he didn't yell, didn't posture, he just charged. The swing connected hard enough to leave an impression, if not a bruise, before security managed to wrestle him away. The footage viral in under 5 minutes. TMZ Shade Room. Hollywood Unlocked, everyone had it, everyone replayed it, and everyone picked sides. Some said Scrappy was unhinged, unstable, violent. Others said he was pushed to his breaking point by two people who manipulated the court system, the media, and his emotions for fame and leverage. And just when the dust was starting to settle, Mama D entered the chat. It went live faster than you can say "I told you so." Waving around a stack of screenshots, she claimed were DMIs between Bambi and Stevie J, plotting how to poke the bear until Scrappy exploded. One message allegedly read, "The moment he lashes out, it's over for him." Whether those messages were real or not, the damage was done. Perception became reality, and the court of public opinion had already reached a verdict. Bambi and Stevie J were painted as villains in a revenge thriller, while Scrappy was the tragic hero pushed to the brink by people who knew exactly how to break him. And in that moment, every eye turned to the production company behind Love and Hip Hop. Was this just another example of reality TV blurring the line between entertainment and exploitation? Or was it something far more sinister? Because if the leaks were true, and if Bambi and Stevie J were indeed compensated for creating this chaos on camera, then this wasn't just a scandal, it was a setup, executed with the precision of a Hollywood script and the coldness of a corporate machine. And suddenly, all the smiles, all the staged scenes, and all the dramatic confessionals didn't feel so entertaining anymore. And just when you thought it couldn't get any darker, the rabbit hole went even deeper. Because after Scrappy's explosive moment on the courthouse steps, things behind the scenes started unraveling at record speed. Not only were Bambi and Stevie J now the center of every gossip blog, but now fans and insiders alike were whispering that this entire saga had been premeditated down to the second. Leaked documents weren't the only things hitting the streets. An anonymous tipster from inside the production team came forward with a voice note so chilling it felt like the script for a Netflix true crime special. In the voice note, that whistleblower claimed that producers of the Love and Hip Hop reboot were fully aware of the tension between Scrappy, Bambi, and Stevie J and chose to weaponize it for ratings. The source even went as far as saying there were weekly strategy calls, where producers would map out potential flashpoint moments. One of those moments, the courthouse showdown. According to the leak, Stevie J was offered a financial bonus if he could instigate a public confrontation before the season finale wrapped filming. Now pause and let that marinate. A man's custody battle, his real-life mental health, and the future of his child allegedly used as bait for a television ratings stunt. It wasn't just messy anymore, it was malicious, okay? And as if that wasn't bad enough, another document surfaced, this time a wire transfer dated 2 weeks before. The courtroom incident, the payment? Just under $10,000. The recipient? A shell company allegedly connected to Bambi's LLC. The description? Promotional services. Promotional for what? Exactly. Because that punch Scrappy threw outside the courtroom wasn't on any promotional flyer, and if it was staged, nobody gave him the memo. This detail sent fans into a tailspin. Suddenly, it wasn't about who cheated or who lied, it was about who got paid to destroy someone else's life on camera. And as this evidence piled up, so did the backlash. Mama D didn't let up either. She went live again, this time holding up what she claimed were handwritten letters from Bambi to Scrappy letters filled with apologies, confessions, and emotional manipulation. "You were slipping, and I had to win," one letter allegedly. Read, "This wasn't personal, it was survival." Fans were floored. Was Bambi truly out here playing chess while Scrappy was drowning in emotional warfare? And what kind of survival requires aligning with the one man Scrappy's always had beef with? The betrayal wasn't just emotionally, was strategic, calculated, and disturbingly effective. Legal analysts even jumped into the conversation. A well-known entertainment attorney tweeted that if these leaks were real, Scrappy had enough grounds to sue not just Bambi and Stevie J, but the entire production company for emotional distress, defamation, and fraud. And that's when things really got wild. Another anonymous source, this time claiming to be a former executive producer from the earlier seasons of the show, came forward with damning allegations. She said the cast was often given scene outlines disguised as improv scenarios. What felt like spontaneous fights or accidental revelations were actually scheduled in call sheets, undercoded. Language like character A provokes character B, or emotional confrontation expected. And apparently, Scrappy's courthouse brawl was no exception. Buried deep in a leaked folder from an anonymous Reddit account was a call sheet for the week of the courthouse hearing. Next to Stevie J's name was a note that read, "Bonus delivers altercation with Scrappy target. Air date, summer finale." The internet lost it. It wasn't just a coincidence anymore. It was a planned, calculated event with financial incentives attached. And if that wasn't shocking enough, the same folder included a list of bonus payouts marked under seasonal drama enhancements. One of the names listed, Bambi, the note beside it. Full storyline participation confirmed, PR approved. The reaction was instant. Fans flooded the show's social media pages demanding answers. Bloggers labeled it the biggest reality TV scandal of the decade. Think pieces popped up overnight questioning whether entertainment had finally crossed an ethical line. Was it still reality TV if people were breaking down in real life while producers laughed behind the cameras? Meanwhile, Scrappy was silent. No posts, no interviews, no shady tweets. Until he wasn't. He broke his silence with a raw, unfiltered video from his kitchen, hoodie pulled over his head, voice hoarse and eyes bloodshot. "I ain't perfect, but I ain't crazy," he said. "I fought for my daughter. I fought for my name, and they turned it into a storyline. They made a mockery of everything I've been through. And for what? Clout, checks, ratings." He held up a photo of his daughter at the end of the video and said, "This the only one I care about winning for. The rest of y'all already lost." That video went viral within minutes. Celebs, fans, and former cast members shared it with messages of support. K. Michelle reposted it with the caption, "This ain't entertainment anymore. This is evil." Erica Dixon tweeted, "They poked the wrong one this time." But while the public rallied behind Scrappy, VH1 execs were scrambling. Reports emerged that emergency meetings were being held behind closed doors. Advertisers allegedly started pulling back their partnerships. A leaked internal memo showed that several sponsors were concerned about associating their brands with a show accused of exploiting real-life legal trauma. And that's when the whispers of legal consequences got louder. Scrappy's legal team had already filed a motion requesting all unreleased footage, behind-the-scenes emails, and internal production communications. Their claim that the altercation outside the courthouse wasn't spontaneous set, was a setup, a provocation, a trap disguised as drama. They could prove it. They could flip the narrative from Scrappy being unstable to Scrappy being a victim of a psychological ambush executed by people he once trusted. And if that happened, it wouldn't just be a scandal. It would be the beginning of the end. The end. The moment Scrappy's legal team filed those motions, everything shifted. What was once dismissed as another messy reality TV blow-up suddenly became the center of what looked like a brewing legal war wand that had the potential to blow the lid off the entire entertainment machine behind Love and Hip. And just when fans thought things couldn't escalate any further, a new player stepped onto the scene and dropped a nuclear-level leak. An ex-producer from the show, face blurred and voice distorted, gave an interview to an underground YouTube series and exposed everything. According to her, producers were told to create chaos, not capture reality. She said Scrappy's custody battle was flagged in a pitch meeting as prime emotional content, and that Bambi and Stevie J were allegedly approached to stir the pot. Her exact words were, "We were told to manipulate the cast using their real trauma." Scrappy didn't know. He thought the cameras were there for legal transparency, not to trap him in a ratings stunt. This confession hit social media like a tidal wave. Suddenly, everyone was reevaluating what they thought they knew about the entire show. Clips were pulled, statements were analyzed, and what once looked like spontaneous meltdowns began to look like rehearsed chaos disguised as real pain. And while Scrappy had remained quiet after his viral video, his legal team did not. Reports leaked that they were preparing to sue not just Bambi and Stevie J, but the entire production company, VH1's parent company, and several executive producers personally. The charges: emotional coercion, defamation, character assassination, and civil fraud. One entertainment attorney told Atlanta Daily Buzz that if Scrappy's team could prove he was intentionally pushed to break down in public as part of a planned storyline, the damages could stretch into the millions. And in the middle of this legal cyclone, new evidence surfaced that made everything worse. That anonymous Reddit folder had more files than anyone initially thought. Inside it was a voice memo between two people, allegedly Bambi and a producer, talking about Scrappy's emotional triggers and how to use them to control the pacing of the storyline. One chilling line was, "He reacts fast when he feels cornered. Let's build the episode around that." The audio wasn't confirmed, but that didn't stop it from going viral. And with the fire growing, even former cast members started chiming in. Young Jock posted a cryptic story that said, "Ain't nobody safe when the puppets become the showrunners." Tokyo Vanity tweeted, "This what y'all doing now? Messing with people's kids and calling it entertainment?" The industry was shaking. And right in the middle of that shakeup was Mama D, holding nothing back. She went live for the third time in a week, sitting in front of a wall full of screenshots, transcripts, and what she called the real tea. She even brought in a supposed family friend who claimed that Bambi had confessed her alliance with Stevie J months ago, bragging that they were going to flip the narrative on Scrappy to make him look unstable before court. The friend said she knew what she was doing. She ain't just fight for custody. She fought to destroy him. Whether true or not, the narrative had already taken hold. Scrappy was no longer just a rapper or a TV personality. He had become a symbol of how dangerous manufactured drama could become when real lives were on the line. Fans started trending hashtags calling for accountability. Multiple YouTubers began dissecting the legal side of the scandal, comparing it to past reality TV lawsuits where cast members claimed emotional trauma, but none of them had proof this damning. This time, there were call sheets, audio files, text messages, even financial trails. But just as the wave of public sympathy began to peak, Bambi released a statement through her publicist that only poured gasoline on the fire. She claimed all payments she received were for promotional services related to show participation, and that any content filmed was under strict contractual review. In other words, she said, "I was just doing my job. Blame the network. Fans weren't buying it." The backlash was swift. Her comments were flooded with clown emojis, people accusing her of trading her child's privacy for screen time and demanding she be held accountable. And then, in what felt like a final blow to the entire franchise, a new court filing from Scrappy's team revealed they were seeking to subpoena production hard drives. Not just footage, but emails, meeting notes, bonus agreements, and text. Threads between cast and crew. Those drives were released, it could expose not only the truth behind this incident, but years of orchestrated scandals dressed up as reality. Industry insiders started whispering that VH1 executives were holding emergency board meetings. Advertisers had already begun threatening to pull out, and the show's ratings, once boosted by drama, were now tanking from public disgust. A source close to production claimed that several key crew members had already walked off the job, not wanting to be associated with what was now being called a corporate smear campaign masquerading as entertainment. And still, Stevie J remained silent. No posts, no videos, no tweets. His Instagram page went dark. Some said it was guilt. Others said it was strategy. But nobody could deny that his name, once known for music and messy TV moments, was now tied to one of the most disturbing reality TV takedowns in years. And at the heart of it all, Scrappy stood with one thing on his side: that reality TV can't fake receipts. As the legal process pushed forward and fans awaited the release of unreleased footage, one thing became crystal clear. It wasn't just a fight over custody, clout, or coin. It was a reckoning. A reckoning for every cast member who ever felt trapped by producers, for every family dragged on screen for clicks, and for every father who had to defend his love for his child in the court of public opinion. Scrappy didn't just throw a punch that day. He threw a lifeline to every person who's ever been chewed up by the entertainment machine and spit out as content. And now the industry is sweating, because if the courts rule in Scrappy's favor, it could open the door to lawsuits from past cast members, financial investigations into reality production budgets, and possibly even criminal probes into manipulation tactics used by television executives for profit. What started as a punch may end up exposing an empire built on betrayal. And this time, the cameras can't spin it. Asterisk, now that everything's out in the open and the masks are off, we want to hear from you. After all this betrayal, manipulation, and behind-the-scenes scheming, do you believe Lil Scrappy was truly set up for entertainment? Was Stevie J playing puppet master the whole time? And was Bambi just a pawn or a co-producer in disguise? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this isn't just another reality TV moment. This is real life, real damage, and real consequences. If you think Scrappy deserves justice, if you're tired of watching people's real pain turned into profit, then hit that like button right now. Subscribe so you don't miss the next explosive update. Because trust me, this story is far from over, and turn on notifications, because the receipts are dropping fast and the truth is catching up with everyone. This channel isn't just here to entertain. We're here to expose, to uncover, and to hold the chaos accountable. No fluff, just facts. And if you're ready to ride with us until the last lie falls and the last secret is exposed, then stay locked in, because the real story isn't what they show you, it's what they try to hide.